So here's three running backs I'm looking to drop heading into Week 10. The first guy's Boston Scott of the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is an obvious one for me and many owners. It looks like they've catched on in this week. He's coming off the bye now. Miles Sanders, he's ready to practice. He's ready to go, which we figured. But Scott, he filled in well in 2 games with Sanders being out with 18 fantasy points and then 10 last week versus Dallas. But now in Week 10, he's going to have no value. He'll get probably 2 or 3 carries, so he'll be the first running back to drop. His droppage is already down 37% off rosters. Now he's only owned in 44% of teams. But after this week, that number's going to drop into the 30s or 20s. So he's the first guy to drop. The second guy to drop is Jermichael Hasty, a guy I thought and many fantasy owners thought was going to do good. And he went up 17% in adage in this week. He's up to 59% owned, but it was a dud performance for him. Only 4 carries, 3 rushing yards, and 2 grabs for 10 yards. Jared McKinnon, we didn't expect him to get the work that he did, but he got a big workload compared to Hasty, and plus the game was lopsided. So Hasty barely saw the field, and I don't think they trust him as an every down back. We saw it a few weeks ago with Jeffrey Wilson Jr. getting the big workload, and then McKinnon now. And now Raheem Mostert, he might come off an IR. He's available to. And Kyle Shanahan said there's a real possibility Mostert could come back in Week 10. So Hasty, this is the week to cut him. So go out there and drop him. And the third and final guy, I sound like a broken record each and every week when it comes to this topic. But I'm going to say it again because no one's listening. But it's Devin Singletary. This guy, he just doesn't produce. He gives you no value. He's 90% owned, and again, he had a 6-point fantasy day, but he had 2 carries for 1 yard and 3 catch for 33 yards. That's not going to get the job done. He's not the starter there. They got more faith in Moss, even though Moss, he don't look that great either, but he's putting up decent numbers fantasy-wise. Moss finished the day versus Seattle with 12 points. He had 9 carries, 18 yards and a touchdown, and 2 catches for 30 yards. So I don't like any running back in that Buffalo Bill backfield. So I would stay away from both of them. But Singletary, he's 90% owned. And that number, that's got to drop dramatically. This guy, he's just doing nothing for you. The only way he'll do something if he has one lucky game. And I don't think he could even do that. So Singletary, this is the 3rd week in a row. Like I said, he's been on this list. And I'm going to continue to say it till he's dropped in 40 to 50% of fantasy leagues. Because where's the production for Singletary? His best game of the year is 10 points, I think. Now, here we go. His best game of the year, Week 4, 18. And then after that, just single digits, except in Week 8. So Singletary, it's time to get rid of him. Morse is back in full gear. He's getting the carries back there. And this Buffalo Bill offense is around Josh Allen throwing and running anyway. So that's 3 running backs I'm looking to drop heading into Week 10.